cross check with your solutions. Okay, no problem. Please practice this on your own. I'm writing the solutions. You can solve the question, complete this question, and tally the solutions. Okay, yes, Vansh, the answers are correct there. And then for EBIT at 55,000. So these are the answers. 0.917 9751. सेकेंड वाला आप चेक करना ऑल्टरनेटिव अंडर 55,000 it should be 975 and then it is 1.125. So what do you conclude from the solution? Though the three options, they are working well, equally well, when we move from 80,000 to 1 lakh EBIT. The EBIT is increasing, and you also see an increase in EPS. However, when the EBIT is declining, then you see the major decline when you will calculate the percentage increase or decrease. Then you will see that it is option 2 which is seeing the major decline in terms of percentage. Option 2 is seeing the major decline in terms of percentage. So in terms of percentage, when you calculate, then you will be able to conclude that okay, which of the two options is giving you a better EPS under positive and negative conditions. So in alternative 1, 2, and 3, you will just conclude by saying, okay, when the EBIT, for example, I'll give you the conclusion for option 3. Option 3 is 100% debt. So in the case where the EBIT is increasing by 25% from 80,000 to 1 lakh, the percentage increase will be 20,000 upon 80,000. That comes to 25%. You see that the EPS will increase by around 28.75%. Because this is a debt option, I will uh, show you whether financial leverage is working and in what direction is it working. So for option 3, when the EBIT increases by 25%, which is difference 20,000 divided by 80,000 into 100, then the EPS is increasing by 28.75%, which will again be 0. So this works when there is a positive increase in EBIT. However, when the EBIT falls, then a fall of EBIT is falling by is 25,000. Now EPS is declining by 35.42%. So like this, you will interpret the percentage decline or increase in EPS under alternate conditions. Okay, now let's continue after the, yes, there's a question.
मैंने जब ईपीएस परसेंटेज चेंज कैलकुलेट करा है तो मैं सिर्फ डिबेंचर्स के यूज करें,
उसमें क्या इंक्लूड करा है बेटा?
सिर्फ डिबेंचर्स का ईपीएस
नहीं, मैंने आपको एग्जाम्पल दिया थर्ड ऑल्टरनेटिव का इंटरप्रेट करने का, आपने उसी तरीके से फर्स्ट और सेकंड ऑल्टरनेटिव भी इंटरप्रेट करना है. That you will see what is the look, the percentage increase in EBIT for each of the three cases will be 25%. Okay, अब उसकी वजह से ऑल्टरनेटिव फाइनेंशियल प्लान्स में ईपीएस कितना इंक्रीज हो रहा है आप वो देखोगे. Okay, what we can do is I'll take the answers from the book for this. For the increase part, I'll write the answers under the three alternatives. So then you'll understand it better. EBIT, when it is increasing by 25% under plan 1, 2, and 3. You will see what is the impact coming on EPS. So under plan 1, when the EBIT increases by 25%, under alternative 1, the increase in EPS is also 25%. In the second plan, when EBIT is increasing by 25%, then I think the second plan is again with preference shares. So there also the increase is by 25%, but the advantage of financial leverage is coming in under plan 3, where with a 25% increase in EBIT, you see a 28.75% increase in EPS. Okay. Similarly, when there is a decline in EBIT, you will conclude accordingly. There is a 31.25% decline. यहाँ दोनों केसेस में 31.25% ही होगा decline, but in the third case the decline is 35.42%. So financial leverage in if I use the phrase for financial leverage, it is said to be a double-edged sword. So if it works in the positive direction, under negative scenario, it will work in the negative direction with an even more proportionate decline in EPS. This is what we conclude from this solution. Okay, I hope this is now clear to everyone. We move to the next concept under the capital structure, which is the concept of financial break-even. Financial break-even is the level of EBIT which is just enough to cover the fixed financial charges of the firm. Break even literal जो meaning होता है break even का, you have done it multiple times in economics. It is the point of no profit, no loss. So under finance, this is the point of uh, EPS being zero. The level of EBIT which is just enough to cover the fixed financial cost of the firm, such that EPS at this level will turn out to be zero, क्योंकि जो आपकी earnings available to equity shareholders होंगी वो zero हो जाएंगी. आप इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट कर रहे हो, फिर उसके बाद टैक्स पेमेंट होगा, प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड की पेमेंट होगी, एंड अल्टीमेटली द अर्निंग्स अवेलेबल टू इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स. You will see, we will be solving questions, they will come out to be zero, and hence the EPS will be zero. This level of EBIT is known as the financial break-even point. So below this level and above this level, you will see a different behavior in EPS. Actually, above this level, the firm starts getting the benefit of using debt financing. तो इसके बाद जब EBIT इस लेवल से ऊपर जाता है, उसके बाद EPS इंक्रीज होना शुरू होता है. So let's take up a question on financial break-even, and then the concept will be more clear. So we have a question on your screens. You are given some information related to the income statement of the firm, and you have been asked to calculate operating, financial, and combined leverage. Second part is asking you to calculate the financial break-even point. And then in the third part, percentage drop in sales to make the earnings per share zero. So let's start with the first part of the question. Operating leverage is equal to contribution upon EBIT. In this case, you also have preference dividend. So financial leverage will be, you can start solving, make the income statement, start putting the values in the formula. See what are the answers coming for. Please start solving. So operating leverage is 1.75. Financial leverage 1.67, and yes, the combined leverage is 2.92. Let's move to the second part of the question. What is the financial break-even level? Financial break-even point. So the level of EBIT which is covering the fixed financial cost, interest will be written directly because interest is tax deductible, and for preference dividend we take 1 minus t in the denominator. So the amount of interest,
What would be the EBT in financial leverage?
what will be the
EBT.
EBT?
Yes, ma'am.
EBT is coming to 16 lakh. We will move in the reverse manner. Should I solve? EBT will be profit after tax आपका 9,60,000
Yes, ma'am.
divided by 1 minus T. This is the information given in the question.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, अब जो भी EBT की वैल्यू थी, EBT का 60% is equal to 9,60,000. 40% यहाँ पर माइनस हो गया.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
ठीक है, तो आपकी वैल्यू आ जाएगी 16 लाख यहाँ पर, और उससे आपकी मिसिंग वैल्यू ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आ जाएगी 4 लाख रुपीज. Class, I repeat the explanation. In the question, you are not given the value of interest and you are not given the value of EBT. Rest information is given to you to locate the value of EBT. अगर EBT को आप X लेते हो तो 40% X का यहाँ पे टैक्स में कट हो गया. This is profit after tax is nothing but 60% of EBT. So you solve this and you get the value of EBT as 16 lakh. If EBIT is 20 lakh, EBT is 16 lakh, then the missing interest value is 4 lakh. Okay. So when we are calculating the break-even point, one fixed financial cost is 4 lakh. And the second fixed financial cost is your preference dividend, which will be adjusted for tax. And then this value is coming to 4 lakh plus 4 lakh, 8 lakh rupees. So now if you want, you can verify your answer also. 8 lakh रुपए जो EBIT है, that will just cover the fixed financial cost and the preference dividend. So let's see whether this is working out accordingly. I take here the EBIT, जो फाइनेंशियल ब्रेक इवन पे हमने वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करी है 8 लाख. So this is your working notes. You can check there whether you're working correctly or not. Interest minus करा आपने 4 lakh. Your please mute yourself.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so we reduce the amount of interest. Profit before tax comes to 4 lakh rupees less the amount of tax, which will be 40%. And you see that earnings available to equity shareholders is 0. So EPS will be 0. Financial break even is that level of EBIT at which the EPS comes out to be 0, because this income is just covering the fixed financial cost of the firm. I hope the concept makes more sense now. तो जब भी फर्म को टारगेट करना है, उसको EBIT टारगेट करना पड़ेगा अबव 8 लाख रुपीस, क्योंकि उसके बाद ही EPS की पॉजिटिव वैल्यू आएगी. So to increase the EPS, you have to aim an EBIT level which is higher than 8 lakh rupees. Okay, is it clear? Yes or no would do well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, third part of the question says, what should be the percentage drop in sales to make the earnings per share 0? Now, percentage drop in sales जो होगा, EBIT से पहले sales आती है, जो आपकी, एक मिनट, I'll write it, sales minus fixed cost. Here actually no variable cost is given, so I am taking only the fixed cost. So then you are getting EBIT. अब अगर EPS 0 होगा तो आपका जो EBIT है वो 8 लाख है. आपने यहाँ पर वेरीफाई कर लिया. आपको क्वेश्चन में फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट दी हुई है 15 लाख रुपीस. So the sales level will come out to be 23 lakh. Currently, your sales are at, I'll come to this point. अभी आपका EBIT जो present situation में है वो 20 लाख है, और जो आपका required EBIT है to make EPS 0 is 8 lakh, पर आपसे percentage drop in sales पूछा है. तो ऐसा करते हैं, ये तो हमारी रिक्वायर्ड सिचुएशन है. दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड. एक्चुअल में आपका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन बनता है या जो सेल्स बनती है अभी, दैट इज EBIT. $35 lakh. So the percentage decline in sales will be डिफरेंस 35 माइनस 23, आपकी सेल्स डिक्रीज होनी चाहिए 12 लाख से। बेस वैल्यू इनिशियल वैल्यू है 35 लाख into 100. This will be the percentage decline in sales, and this comes to yes 34.2%. So to make the EPS 0, the sales should decline by 12 lakh rupees, and in percentage terms, this turns out to be 34.2%.
I found this on the web.
Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.